in a world and in a town where everybody knows everybody, it's good to have a local business you're working with, especially when it comes to your home. Stay tuned for more, everybody. Welcome to the Your Little Castle Show. Yours truly, Carter Rethwish, a.k.a. the Cardinal Cowboy. It's interesting how we all get connected in this little town, isn't it?
It sure is.
I got a message from our guest here, Gabriel, and he says, "Hey, remember back?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." Some music background there?
Music, yeah. I born and raised here in St. Louis, and right out of high school went on tour with Devin Allman, and was in the industry for years, and running across each other at ball games and music at events, and it was just time to a little change of pace in life as I got older. I couldn't hang anymore, so
Yeah, toured. You've been all over the world playing music.
yeah. We were signed to Provogue Mascot label, which was in Rotterdam, Holland. So we were gone all the time. So it's good to be back home, that's for sure.
Here you are back in St. Louis working for a great company. With that, shout out to, I'm going to make sure our camera, I'm going to do our really wide shot. Here we are on set though, but our guest in studio here today, Gabriel Strange. He's a roofing specialist. Been doing this for about 11 years now.
10, 11 years, yeah. Left the music community, didn't leave it, but just slowed down pace of life. And my father was a contractor. I grew up in construction, and I had a niche for it. And it's a good way to help people, and I really enjoy doing that. So started in Southwest Florida roughly 10 years ago, and I've relocated back to St. Louis to be closer to family and Emo's Pizza.
And Emo's Pizza, that's right. Give them a shout out. Maybe we can get them to be a sponsor on the show.
There you go.
But yeah, with that, shout out to our current sponsors, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle. That given how long Laguna has been around, it's a good opportunity for us to share with everybody a little bit about the businesses that are in our community. So with that, we're going to give a shout out here. We're going to switch over to your guys' beautiful website and your Facebook, and you guys have lots of good information out there for people to enjoy and learn about what you're doing to be the #1 metro roofing contractor here in St. Louis, for getting roofs, siding, gutters. Those are all important things people need.
Yes, sir. Soffit, fascia, really anything on the exterior of the home. We focus, our niche is really roofing. We're a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning, who's been around the Pink Panther, almost 100 years now.
Yeah, so if there's any name with regard to somebody you can get your supplies from, everybody knows Owens Corning, the Pink Panther.
Yep,
that
absolutely.
They've identified with and built a great brand. Great high quality stuff. Then you guys are you had to get licensed and sanctioned and certified with them, and then you offer their warranty and everything goes along with it too.
Well, they have different levels. They have preferred contractors. Anyone can go buy Owens Corning shingles, right? You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's, in your local hardware stores. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be naming all these stores here, but you're welcome. You can do that, right? But then there's a preferred level when you actually work with Owens Corning, and we're actually on the platinum preferred level. Okay. So quarterly training, we work hand in hand with them. They make sure that we're installing to their specifications to get the full potential of the product. Thus being said, the warranties are just absolutely insane because they know we're doing the job the right way.
Yeah, no, that's important because if you do it without having it sanctioned, certified, what you have, then they come back for repair and say, "You didn't install this correctly with a company that was doing this right or doing it yourself." That's why you want to have somebody like Lagunas doing the installation for you. Make sure that it gets covered. Well, tell me, what led you to this? We talked a little bit about the music career as you started in your youth, right? And now you're getting up to close to my age, about 10 years younger than me. If you know, my birthday's coming up here. But
happy birthday!
Thank you. I'll be in my late 20s.
I tell people I was born in the late 19th century.
Right? That's good. I like that. I'll use that one. That stays off of.
I just needed to slow down. Traveling so much, we did over 250 shows a year. Wow. And I can't even count how many countries, right? So there was things that are more important to me in life that I hadn't experienced yet, family, stability, finding a good church to go to.
Right.
And just being in one spot and enjoying some of the things in the second half of my life. And I had the construction background. I had the opportunity to work with a roofing company in Sarasota, Florida, some friends of mine. And I knew all the ins and outs. I I didn't have it totally down yet, but I had a general idea of how all the components worked together and what it took to make and install a great roof. From there, I learn every day. I'm still learning. But it was kind of the family business construction, so I had a little bit of knowledge, and I got hooked up with guys that had tons of knowledge and really just took a chance on me and have educated me over the years. And it's great. I get to help people still. I get to make people happy still. And I get to travel a little bit, but I get to be home. I get to cut, believe it or not, I get to cut my grass,
That's
I can own a dog,
right.
which you can't do that, and I get to see my family,
Very
which is
cool.
great.
Important stuff. And it seems like you told me the kind of what led up to it. You said, hey, I'm coming back to St. Louis. I'm going to be setting my roots here again and give me a good quality company that I can work with. And
Exactly.
Who was recommended to you, and here you are.
Yep. I've been with Lagunas since mid-February. Like I said, they've been around for decades now.
Right.
I have a lot of friends growing up here in the area that work in the construction or home improvement industry, right? Very high reputable companies. Some of them are my mentors, and I really trust their judgment. I said, I need to find somebody, you know the type of person I am, and that I want quality, and I want to give quality, and I want to support quality, and I want to be supported. So I asked for a few references of companies to go kind of seek out. And Michael Laguna, our owner, him and I sat down a couple different times, and we kind of felt each other out. And man, it's just been a great fit, and I've just never been happier with a roofing company, and just being home as well too. It's just good to be back in St. Louis and working with a great group of people.
Yeah, life is short. You want to spend your time with quality people, and it looks like you found a great organization, great company here.
Very blessed.
Been around, very highly rated. We're going to show some of the reviews here that you've done really well too. Tell me a little bit about the team. You're part of the team, obviously. You're a roofing specialist by designation, but you've got crews and some higher ups and some other people you work with.
We've got I believe you met Tyler, our production manager, the other day at the ball game.
Happened to see him.
He called me on the way over.
Yeah, I saw him on a truck. I said, that's the guys that are going to be on my show here shortly.
This doesn't happen without Tyler. I'm acknowledging it, Tyler. He runs our production department. He's on job sites. He's in the office. With the team, he's got a whole production team ordering, making sure deliveries are on time, scheduling, crews. We've got a diverse group of representatives. I think our youngest rep, Aiden, is 19. I'm in the senior account executive pool with a couple other fellas.
Right.
But just a good, diverse group of honest people that really know what they're doing. The good thing about having the young and the how would you say, mature mix of representatives and people working there is we've got guys that are willing to give, and we've got younger men that are willing to learn, right? So people can be coached. And even myself, doing this as long as anybody has at the company, I still learn something every day. And sometimes I learn it from a guy who's only been doing this for a couple of years. You have to really know the product, but then it just comes down to people. Being good to people, taking care of people, supplying a need. And that comes from just being around the block for a few years.
Well, yeah, that's what we're looking for is the leaders in our community that have been doing this for a long time, that we can share some of their expertise and learn a little bit about, because how often is it that we've got a big problem, we've got storms come through St. Louis on the regular, right? If you don't like the weather, wait a few minutes, it'll change.
Sure.
And we had storms coming through just the other day again. But you want to know who it is you can trust, who it is that's got a good reputation, who it is that's got the good word of mouth, and that's what is brought to the table by Lagunas here.
Yeah. The thing is helping people. The slogan or motto at the church I go to is honor God and help people. And there's nothing better than helping somebody at the end of the day. It's a good feeling. We've been blessed with the knowledge. I try to instill in some of the reps that haven't been doing this as long. You have to have compassion for these people. Most of our homeowners, their home is their biggest investment, right? And the top's been opened up on it.
Right.
We get to go home and go to sleep. They listen to a leak all night. It's not a fun situation for them. So we just try to make it as comfortable as possible, as stress-free and hassle-free as possible.
Well, it's, again, bringing that peace of mind back to somebody with a company that they can know and trust. What do you think has led to your success and being able to just walk in and say, I want to work with a great company like this, and they said, we'd love to have you with your years of experience?
I have a great track record. I credit that to God and my belief there, but I'm honest. I do what I say I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, it's not about what direct deposit I get on Friday. It's about, did I help you? Is your problem fixed? Because if it is, the rest of that will come. If I take care of you and do what I say I'm going to do, you're going to tell everybody about it, right? And then I'm going to benefit from it. So everybody wins. Good communication with homeowners and just follow through, execute, and just at the end of the day, do what you say you're going to do.
There you have it, everybody. I like that. If you do what's right, all the other pieces will fall in place. That's a good quote there. We got that makes sense. It's just kind of natural, you would think, but there are people who try to cut corners and do things less standard, but it's not a long-term good plan.
It's never a long-term good plan. And there are people who try to cut corners, and there's people that cut halves.
We've seen that, yes. And boy, it's just they must not be serious about a long-term commitment to their own livelihood and their own business. But what is it ultimately that fuels your passion about working in this industry and what you get? Is there any tie to the music? You get to feel the energy from the crowd, and here you get to help homeowners.
So it's really neat. Every day I have on social media the Rock and Roll Roofer.
Okay.
And I've been blessed enough to play and meet a lot of celebrity people, if you will, or people that I've looked up to. And every morning I get up and I try to find a common theme with what's going on. I believe I had, on one of the social medias, I had Riders of the Storm playing, right? Because
Okay,
it's storming outside.
Right.
And I threw a couple pictures of me and Ray Manzarek from the Doors up, and it gave an explanation about storm process and what to expect. So I kind of get to mix it in a little bit. It's fun. But it's also great, too, because St. Louis is such a diverse group of people. Even when I was in Southwest Florida, no one's from Florida, right?
Right. Everybody moves there, right.
If you're from Florida, you're a unicorn. But I always wondered why we would play all these. I've been to all these cities, and not necessarily like, you've never heard where I'm from, sir. It's some little town outside of Pittsburgh. Try me. Vonnox? Yeah, there's a place called Moondogs. We used to play. So you automatically, you're on that level with that person. You know where they come from. You know the kind of their core values from being of that part of the country and what makes the world go round for them. And just being able to help people, man, at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, we're a for-profit business. We got to keep the lights on. But there's a good feeling at the end of the day when you know you're making a difference and you're still taking care of your family.
Well, yeah, that's what we like to see, and as demonstrated, I'm going to put up here on the wall for everybody. 4.7, 272 reviews. That's impressive to see a company that's spent that much time with so many customers, and you can see the reviews here. I mean, this is relatively, this is unbelievable, actually, when you really analyze what you've got going on here, and it's just review after review after review, and I'm just scrolling through here, randomly selecting reviews. But Lagunas Roofing is a fantastic group of people who I had the pleasure of dealing with. Connor Merritt is an awesome individual who did his utmost best to make sure everything was properly installed and perfectly aligned. The crew, which was at our house, was awesome. Make you feel good to see these guys? This
Absolutely.
Is a good word out there.
Connor's a rock star in his own right. Hard-working, man. Hard-working. That kid's up early. He's to bed late. I'm sure he's just like me. I laid in bed till 3 o'clock this morning with projects going through my head.
Right.
The Google reviews are great. We love them. My suggestion, do your homework. Do your research. Anyone that's afraid to let you do your research, that's when you got to be worried. If you're on the up and up, you're a good company, you're going to stand by your product, you're going to stand by your installation, and you do people right, check me out all you want. I encourage you to.
Yes, and so look and get a feel and talk to some of the, you can see all the reviews that are on these. You take a look there, but just do that Google search. We always do that before we have anybody on. We always check that out because we want to represent the good companies that are making and doing good things in our community. With that, we're going to share some of our excitement we had. A lot of people are familiar with my mom, Judy Rethwish, from her drama department over at Afton High School. She taught John Goodman, and really recently they did a 100th anniversary of Route 66, and John was part of that because it goes through Springfield, and they brought my mom in for a little piece here. She was on a cool little program on on a TV station somewhere. But check out this.
Guys, he's amazing.
You were driving around town and you went past your old high school and said, thought about stopping in, but said, there's nobody here left that I know. But in fact, your high school drama teacher, Judy Rethwish, is still there.
Yeah.
And she left a little message for you.
Hello, John. This is Judy Rethwish from the Afton School District. And I just wanted to say that you've made some wonderful contributions to our district. And we're so proud of you and all the things you have done. I'm particularly proud, and I remember when you had the lead in Hello Dolly, and we got a standing ovation for that show, and I saw the light in your eyes, and I knew that's what you were going to do the rest of your life.
Wow.
Special.
That's got to be special.
Yeah.
She saw it in you.
She had to fight to get me into a couple of productions because I was on the D list.
Well, you're on the A list now.
Yeah, well, let's not go nuts.
100 acting credits. I think you're on that. You made it.
Really?
Yes.
Yep. Counted them up.
Break them down.
Could you list them all for us? No kidding. John, thank you so much.
Oh, thank
You're going to be sticking around. You're going to help us out with some trivia, right?
Yep.
Some Springfield trivia is coming up in just a sec. Then later, since we are in the birthplace of Route 66, we are going to have our own classic car show.
His name is Carter Rethwish, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwish was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust, clearly explaining complex products, and keeping visitors engaged longer, reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's BIGGLEAGUES.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there. And as you may have seen, we are always active in the community doing fun things. It was neat to see Mom again getting highlighted, but she's been kind of known for her drama and teaching. They named the building after her. I got the picture of her when John Goodman came in to do that, and the dedication, the Judy Rethwish Auditorium. Do a Google search. You can see if you got to go to an Afton play, that's where you're going to watch. So with that, I like, as a numbers guy, as a computer guy, as a baseball guy, I like to analyze the data. I'm a numbers guy, right? I always knew what my batting average was going into the game and what I needed to do if I hit 2 for 3 or 3 for 5 or whatever that game, what my average would be. But tell me why somebody should not cut corners. What they want to get things done correctly. Give that cost analysis. What?
Here's the thing, Carter. The most expensive roof you'll ever install is the one you do twice.
Right.
Right.
Well said.
Do it right the first time. There are components that are made for these roofs, right? They're made for a reason. They have functions. Okay. Years ago, when you would install a roof, there was no starter strip. They would take a 3-tab shingle and they put it upside down, and then they'd start their first row on that.
Interesting.
Well, technology's come a long way. These monitors aren't black and white, right?
Right. No.
So just as this has come a long way, roofing's come a long way. We're better at protecting the home, better at protecting the homeowner. Owens Corning produces items such as starter strip, which is specifically designed to do that. A shingle is designed to be a shingle and lay flat. 3-tab shingles, they'll cut in thirds and make your ridge cap, right? Well, shingles are made to lay flat, so when you bend them, they break. So you're basically installing something that's broken from the get-go.
Right.
Why not do it the right way with the right materials? Yeah, it costs a little more, but it's done the right way with the right materials, and it's warranted to actually have a ridge cap put on that ridge, something that was made for the ridge.
Makes sense. Yeah, I like what you started off with there, but that is the most expensive roof you'll ever get is the one you'll do twice. Do it right the first time. Gosh, there's so many people. I want to save $50. I want to save $100. Save $1,000 on a $20,000 roof. Not worth it when you have to pull out and get the thing done over again.
No, you definitely. You don't want to cut corners. This is most likely the biggest investment upon one of your biggest investments,
right?
Which protects your biggest investment, which is your family.
There you go.
So, nothing more to say about that.
I like the rankings there. That's true. Very important. Why should somebody choose you guys? What do you think it is that really separates you guys from the rest?
Here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you I'm the only good roofer in St. Louis. I'm not. There's plenty of good roofers, right? There's plenty of garbage roofers.
Right.
There's companies that can do a job as good as we can do. What separates you from installing this roof and this roof? I tell homeowners all the time, you have the exact same house, the exact same size roof, but those roofs are different because you're different. You want different things. You appreciate different things. You value different things, right? So roofers can install roofs just like we do, but do they communicate? Do they build the relationship with their homeowner? I don't call them customers, they're homeowners, right?
Right.
Like, we need them as much as they need us. We take care of our customers. We communicate. You'll see through the Google reviews, communication is touched upon in probably every other review on there. I call homeowners, I don't say, hey, this is what we're doing, we're installing on this day. You know, Carter, does this work for you? Is this day good for you? You know, because we're here to help you. We're providing a service, and it should be customized to each homeowner.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people, they just say, slap it together, anybody can throw on a roof, and when you really analyze this is something that's one of the most critical decisions outside of the purchase of the home. This is the part that defends the whole home. It keeps water from getting in there, keeps mold, all the other issues you can run into. You want to make sure it's done with somebody who's got the reputation and the history, experience, and make sure it's going to be done correctly. Tell me then a little bit about the certifications. We talked about the platinum level you guys have. And some of the other things that are bonded, insured. I mean, gosh, if you ever had a roofer do some work that wasn't insured and there's something goes wrong, it could be an injury, workman's comp, all these things are important.
Here's the thing. In the state of Missouri, I don't believe you have to be licensed to be a roofer. You can go to Corner Bank and say, here's $100 to start me a business checking account. I want to start an LLC. You give them a name, they check it versus the database in Jefferson City. If that name's not taken, congratulations, Carter, you're a roofer.
Right.
Right? You want to make sure license, because you get licensed by passing tests, which the tests say, hey, you know what you're doing. We trust you to install a roof to protect a home and a family.
Right.
Certificate of insurance. If they're not willing to show you a certificate of insurance saying that they are currently, not that it expires next year, but that they currently hold insurance and they've paid their premiums, if somebody falls off your roof and that's not there, there's no workman's comp, you're going to have a lawsuit with your insurance company. Installation certifications are huge. Like I said, we work with Owens Corning. I'm getting ready to take a class to be VIS certified, which is final installation of siding. You got to know your craft, you know. I'm sure back in the day when you were playing baseball, when you were getting ready to face a top-notch pitcher, you studied him, right? You knew his pitches. You knew kind of how he mixed it up. He probably studied you too, knew if you liked it low and inside or high, you know. You got to do your homework.
Yes, well, and so often these days it's so easy. I gave a speech, I don't know, it's been 10 years ago or so, for the National Realtors, based out of the Midwest here, and I said there's no excuse anymore to not have the information because it's all out there. Are
Right.
you going to do the research? Are you going to go dig to find it? No excuses. Get the research. Go figure out who it is. Go look for a company who's got 270 reviews,
Right.
and tons of 5-star reviews that really show and exemplify how they are on the ball and they're doing great stuff in our community to really serve people, because that's what it all boils down to.
And another thing, Cart, take a look at those reviews. No one's perfect, right? If you got 5 stars all across the board, all across the board, all across the board, something doesn't add up here, right?
I've seen that.
But take a look at the reviews that might not be as positive as the others and see how they were responded to. See if the guy stood behind the work. Because things happen. That's why we have warranties. But do you back up your work and make sure that at the end of the day your project's complete and how it should be?
Yeah, that's true. How often is there a problem? It's how do you act? How do you respond to the problem? The error in baseball, my dad used that quote, it's not the error that causes you to lose the game, it's how you respond to that error. 1985 Cardinals, I'll never forget. Drop, pop up.
Easy.
Bad call at first base, but how they responded to that. Well, with that, tell me then, what's the benefits of working with you guys as a small business? Good size crew out there, but you're not so big national company.
I've got 2 locations. I'm in Fairview Heights. We just opened in Des Peres.
Okay.
And in December, I believe, which it helps us be closer to the homeowner, right? We've been serving the area, the whole area, but there's a lot of demand. And once you have a reputation like this, people want to use you, and we want to work with people, right? So we've built the team, we've grown the team, but we're not 100 trucks on the street trying to sell roofing jobs.
Right.
No one being named. We're not located in Kansas City, St. Louis, and Memphis. You know, we're family owned and family ran. We're big enough to be able to tackle any situation, but we're small enough that the communication and the family vibe's there. You know, everybody is hands-on with your project.
That's what you're looking for, everybody. If you're going to have some work done on your home, make sure you've got the experts that can do it. Lagunas Roofing over here, the best roofing company in Metro St. Louis, lagunasroofing.com, 618-300-5661. Stay tuned. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.